Ian, Nintendo had a big E3 showing. You could say they won E3, which I won't say because I hate saying anyone won a trade show event.
Yeah.
But you could say they had a good showing at E3.
They did. For the first time in years.
Okay.
They probably had a pretty good showing. I'll go through some of the smaller stuff real quick before we get maybe into some of the meatier things. Rocket League was confirmed for the Switch. That's
pretty damn big.
That is.
Good get.
Now,
Good get.
It's an older game, and it's on, other platforms. But Rocket League for Switch, I believe, was confirmed for cross-server play.
Yes.
Which is huge.
For PC, I think they said Xbox, and then Sony, they said...
No, Sony actually...
Did they come on board?
We didn't really get into Sony much, because really Sony was... Sony wasn't really baffling like Microsoft was, but it was just completely unexciting and boring. And then they also, they killed the idea of cross-platform play at their conference. Sony was like,
for
nope.
all games?
They're just like, we're not doing it.
They're taking their ball and going home?
Yeah, they're being a bunch of fucking shit bags. So
they showed off a Spider-Man game that's exclusive. Or timed exclusive, whatever the fuck they call it nowadays. Yeah. Console timed exclusive.
So, but at least you'll be able to play with your PC friends or your Xbox friends. It's cool that Nintendo's doing that.
But it's portable.
Yes, but it's portable, which is huge. And it should give you the exact same gameplay experience. And it's obviously a game that's not going away. Anytime I turn on Steam or the PS4, I still see a lot of my friends playing the hell out of Rocket League. So that's a good get. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. We knew that was coming. They showed off more of it. It looks fantastic. That is obviously going to be a huge one. But the new Kirby game, a new co-op Kirby game,
looked adorable.
Yes. All Kirby games look adorable.
Platformer, right?
Yes. And it'll probably play similarly, I'm assuming, in the same vein as Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Okay.
Which was also co-op available.
And speaking of Yarn, you got a Yoshi game.
There is a Yoshi game, another Yarn Yoshi game coming out. With how much I adored Yoshi's Woolly World, I'm really excited about this one. Pokken Tournament DX, or whatever, the evolved one, was announced prior to E3. And people were upset that they announced that the new Ultra Sun and Moon were going to be for the 3DS, but it has been confirmed that they are working on a new core Pokemon entry.
RPG, regular RPG. But they didn't say that during the conference, though, but they said it afterwards, right?
They did. I don't know if they said during the conference.
I think it was during the conference.
Probably not, but they did confirm it.
Because people were probably going to storm the booth and kill everyone if they didn't get a proper, game on the Switch, proper Pokemon game.
They did announce more Zelda DLC.
That was interesting because they confirmed the second part of it, like what you're going to expect the storyline. What had to do with what are they, the four the hell are they called? 4 heroes?
Boss baddies.
The boss baddies that are your friends, right?
Yeah.
4 champions. The champions ballad. They're champions. And your friends and your pals.
A couple of the... So this is the difference. The Nintendo one has so much to run down. Some of the bigger things, though, that were announced, and I think the things that surprised people, I'll start with the Mario and Rabbids game actually looks good.
Didn't really check that out too much. That was more part of the, part of the Ubisoft presentation?
Looks like XCOM.
Oh, really? I didn't even see it. Wow, that's where XCOM?
Yeah. The
original XCOM.
Looks like XCOM.
Okay.
Looks like an XCOM game, basically. So I'm pretty interested in trying this, and I think
as people do yard work outside, apparently. You keep talking, I'm gonna close the door.
Yeah, okay.
Keep talking. What the? Is that Frank? Could be Frank.
It could be Frank.
No, honestly, could be.
If it's Frank doing yard work. So I do think the Mario and Rabbids game has turned a corner where it looks actually interesting to me, whereas I just kind of laughed it off initially, and it was touching. Holy shit! It was touching to see the guy who's kind of helming the project, sitting in the front row, listening to Miyamoto talk about it and thanking him for his work on it, because that's got to be a big deal. And I think we could be looking at a game that's actually fairly decent. So I have hopes for that. And then obviously one of the
wasn't Frank, it was one of his workers. Go on.
Oh, okay.
Literally.
And then I think and we'll get into a little bit more of this later, but I think one of the biggest things is not only was one Metroid game announced, but two.
Let's talk about let's talk about Metroid Prime 4 getting announced.
Okay. So Metroid Prime 4 was announced. That's huge. People have wanted new Metroid games for a long time, and they've just been getting...
Well, other M was mixed, right? People were like...
Well, it was mixed, but regardless of being mixed, that was the last one.
2009 or 10?
Probably 2009. I don't know, but it was on the Wii, so I mean...
And Metroid Prime 3 came out in 2007, so it's been 10 years between a proper, quote-unquote, Metroid Prime game. 10 years! And Metroid's not obviously on the stature of Legend of Zelda, but you could say that it's more popular than like a Star Fox. Like, people get behind Metroid games.
I've always considered it very much part of the core of Nintendo.
The core properties, of course.
Yeah. So Metroid Prime 4 is announced, and Retro Studios is not doing it this time. It's being handled internally at Nintendo, which makes me very interested in seeing what they're going to come up with. Mm-hmm. Just because Retro handled the first three, and they really seem to have that first-person Metroid sort of gameplay locked down. So it'll be interesting to see what Nintendo does when given a franchise that's been, at least thus far, typically first-person shooter-based, what they'll do with it. Because that's not really their wheelhouse.
Sure. But we're looking at, since this is an announcement teaser, this game might come out for at least 2 years. We don't know when this is going to come out.
Yeah, it's literally a picture that says now in development.
Yeah, so this could be the big hit for the medium life of the Switch, like 2.5, 3 years into it, for example.